Morning.
Oh, morning. Hang on. I'm gonna turn you down just a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Did I come in hot?
No, it's because we just got off team
Team
meeting
meeting, we love.
and it was cranked.
You're good. You're good. I may or may not have a loud voice, which helps me when I speak for a living. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Good. How are
Give
you?
I'm good. I'm good. Give me some good stuff. Give me some wins. How are things going?
I got 3 more days left. It's a great win.
That
I
is
know
not-
that's not what you were looking
Hudson,
for.
that's not a win, although we are excited to have Chris here.
Yes,
So
yes, excited.
I was just gonna say that I don't think anybody looks at it as a win. And I'm
Sorry.
excited for your,
I
oh
didn't
gosh,
know that's what you meant.
it's your win. It's your win.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
What? And not that you don't love these people, right? What else? Look, see, you scared Chris away, or did he just walk in the room?
Actually,
He
no, he
walked in
came
the
in
room.
person.
Into the room.
Oh, okay. All right. Give me something else other than the departure of our friend.
What, you know what? We had a guest speaker last week from our region, Jake Lures. You may or
Yeah.
may not know. Anyway, poured into our people. I think it was good. I think it was, it was just a good experience. And I think that's along with Bold and everything else, we continue to pour into our people and continue to move things forward. So I think that's good.
Awesome. And hey, forgive me if she's there and I'm just crazy. Is Dawn in the room?
No, she's in Cheyenne.
Yeah, she's in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And so she's meeting with our group over there.
Okay, so she's not going to be. This is our last one before we launch. She's not on.
I don't know if she planned on coming.
No idea.
So I don't know, Hudson. I can text her. I know she's meeting with the gang afterwards, but I didn't know exactly her schedule.
Okay, I mean, we're not to be dramatic. We launch in a week, and we've got quite a bit to go numbers wise. So it's just going to be important that we're all on the same page. It's fine. I'm recording this. It's our last one. So, all right. So here's where we're at, right? I mean, you guys probably saw it, and we're at 56 first step. We're at 28 full. We are definitely within striking distance of where we need to be, and based off what we've done on average each week, like if you guys can pull out, so this past 7 days, we didn't have a ton of growth. The 7 days before we did. So whatever you did that week, if we can repeat that, we're going to be good. Because if you remember from last week, our goal is to enter that room with 30 full registrations. So that's just 2 more full. That's not that crazy. And 70 registrations total, including first step. So basically what that equates to is we need 2 more full and 14 first step. I need real answers so I can work with you. How do you feel when you hear that?
I'll be honest, I think the first step still, I know we're gonna hit the full Bold part. I'm not worried about that. Matter of fact, I've got, I said last week we had the 2 and the 2 signed up, and then I've got another one still, but so the full Bolds, in my head, I'm still focused on full Bolds, to be honest. Just because I really want to get as many full Bolds as we can. But, the 17, realistically, again, I'm going to continue to hit up the ants. I mean, we've hit up our people. We had a good meeting this morning in regards to just a reiteration. We brought on a couple people who have taken Bold several times, talked through that. So we may still get some of our own, but I'm really focused on reaching outside of our market center. Both lenders, both other couple potential recruits, that kind of thing. That's just me. I'm just saying, as Team Katie's been working, I know we've all been working hard on getting more people even step. But 14, I think, obviously we're gonna do our best and be focused on really this week and even into up the last day to get up there and get it to our number.
Well, no, and hear me very clearly. Like, I'm an optimist and I love your optimism, and we still need the numbers to get there. Like, if we were launching tomorrow, there's pretty much a 0% chance we'd hit the 50 just based off conversion rates. We're not launching tomorrow. We have a week. So I guess, so I have two goals for today's conversation, right? The first goal is I want to have some sort of tangible plan. I'm committing to this many a day, or I'm going to have this many conversations a day, or we're going to offer this incentive, or like just something. I think our best bet here is to leave with something tangible that you guys can be executing on, so that I'm sure you've all been in a situation before where you're either in one or the other, right? Maybe both, where you're succeeding so slowly that you thought you were failing, or you're failing so slowly that you thought you were succeeding. And that feeling's horrible. So I just want to make sure we have something that we can measure, so that we know every day over these next 7 days, like, are we on track? Are we worried? Are we on track? Are we worried? Right? Just so we can measure. And then the other thing that I want to talk about today is I'd like to make sure that you guys have all the information you need to make sure that our show rate at step one is exceptional. Because at our numbers, that is going to be paramount. If we had 200 first step, it's almost not even a concern, right? We need to make sure that if they said they're coming, they're coming. And I have a really easy way for you guys to do that. And of course, it requires some effort on your part, right? So let's start with plan. I mean, so we need 2 full and 14 first. So are you saying you have 2 full that are just not signed up? Is that what you were saying? Or
Yeah, I believe I do. And they're,
At least two, maybe.
yeah, it may be more than that, but I'm just saying the 2, I know we'll hit the 30. So I'm not concerned about that. It's just getting, beyond that. And like you said, I want to make sure the people who say they're, coming to first step will come to first step, because you know how that goes.
I do. We'll talk about that. So those 2 people, is there any reason you couldn't get them signed up today? Just
No,
for
I
our,
think they,
okay.
I think they will, and the only reason being is long story, but bottom line is I believe they will. So
Okay.
I'm not
Is there,
concerned about getting to that 40, let's put it that way. Or 30, I mean.
okay. Could you call them today or contact these people today and do your
Yeah,
best to get them registered?
I'm
Okay.
meeting them in June.
Okay, cool. Do me the hugest favor ever. If they say yes on the spot, just get them registered yourself. Like, get the link and get them registered. I just think it's not that I don't trust you. I think for everyone, if we were just at that 30 by the end of the day, like, that's one less thing we get to worry about. And then we can just focus on building these first step registrations. Keep building full if you like. And yet it seems to have been a harder push. I know that I've gotten a lot of feedback from multiple people, including Dawn, that a lot of your agents want to be in the room with me before they decide based off past experiences. So, that's the reason I'm looking at more first step. I'm normally team full all the way, and yet I just want to make sure that we make this successful. And if we can get them to first step, we can get them signed up. Okay. So let me know how that meeting goes, and if we can get them registered. I just think that'd be a huge deal. For the 14th first, so Katie, you've added a ton of people. Is it coming from one-on-one conversations? Where are those people coming from for first step?
It's more or less, I literally asked Gary yesterday, like, can I just sign you up? And he said, yeah. So.
Katie sees her, obviously
Yeah,
people
Yeah.
come through.
I just asked them like normal.
No, I love that. I know you also have people that don't come into the office on a regular basis. Are we calling them?
Well, that's how she got Alan. He's in Bellefouche, so
Okay.
not somebody who.
Yeah, Bellefouche, just so you know, about 45 miles from here. So we do have the distance scenario in our
Yeah.
world, but
Yeah.
but
You have
still,
people, your last bowls though, you've had people commute in for them, right? I mean,
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
not unheard of, right?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, they come from everywhere.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
okay.
they're coming from all over, so it's not uncommon for us.
Okay. So I don't want to minimize anyone's efforts. Has Katie gotten most of the first steps, or is that just because I'm seeing her post them?
I mean, I just post them
Yeah,
all.
she's the
but-
one that's posting all of them.
Okay,
So I think it's
Uh,
a mix. I mean,
yeah.
but Katie's definitely the one who sees the people as they're coming in, asking the questions, hey, you know, are you interested? You know, first step, this is when, you know, that kind of thing. So she sees, I think she sees the people more than maybe some of us, if that's
Okay.
fair.
Anybody I've talked to, I've sent them to Katie to do it, so.
so let me ask you a question differently. So 14 first step or more, what more are welcome. I mean, can you think of 14 people? Give me the theoretical answer and then we can go deeper. Like, do you think you have 14 people on your roster who should be there at step one who aren't yet registered?
I think that's fair. I mean, I gotta relook to see who's all signed up again, but, I think that's fair. I think there is. You know, we have a Wyoming roster, which, you know, that's the other thing is we've got some people who,
You've got 28 people on that list that are not gonna.
no, well, unless we can get Casper to, you know, relook at some of the things. They came to the last bowl 2 years ago. And
Yeah.
they commuted. The challenge is it's in the winter, you know, it's literally 3 hours. Wyoming is crazy weather-wise and they missed a few of them, and so that's a challenge for them. But nonetheless, I haven't really had that conversation with our Casper group.
But
just
So
you're
that's
because-
my thought, right? Like, I mean, you know, think about it. Like, I'm an introvert at heart, which most people don't believe because they know me from Bold. Like, I'm not going to the party and I still want to be invited. So I think having that conversation, even if nobody comes, here's what you don't want to happen is 28 people who are upset because they weren't given the opportunity. So I would really challenge you to not put it as a pressure way, have that conversation. And again, like, what if we just sold? Here's what's interesting about this new version of Bold. Like, am I gonna be closing in the room? Of course. Is it going to be 5 hours of selling? I promise you it's not. And the way that this new Bold is written and the way that First Step is structured, it really does stand on its own as its own event. So my thing is, so you've got these people that are 3 hours away and maybe they're thinking there is no way I'm doing that 6 times over the next 2 months. What if they just committed to coming to the first step? You know, like, hey, why don't you commute in for this? You will leave with value. You will leave with things you can implement. You will leave with leads you didn't have. We know by default, if 5 of them show, even with the commute, 2 or 3 are going to sign up, right? So like, so I would have that conversation with those people. And then this would be what I would ask of you. And for all I know, we might end a few minutes early and you could do it right now. If not, I'd love for you to get together today. I would love it if you could all compare your roster to the sign up and start identifying people who you're like, you know, they really need to be in there. I think if we simplify, like if I think we found the 14 people that we really, really believed needed to be in the room, I think the conversations would be easier to have.
Yeah.
You know, I think
agree.
there's some power in saying, hey, you know, I believe that everyone should be in Bold, and I know that's not the world we live in. Your name kept sticking out to me. I really think this is something you shouldn't miss. Can I at least get you to go to step one? You know, I think when you get personal with people, they're so much more likely to say yes because you made them feel special. So can we commit to looking at your roster versus your signups and identifying a hit list rather than leaving it vague? Does that sound
Yeah.
fair? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then, so let's talk about success at step one. First of all, so my plan, tell me, who of you has seen the room, like the venue in person?
Katie has.
Katie, is there a lot of setup or is it pretty plug and play?
It looked like it was pretty plug and play. They have like normal, like BNI meetings that like sign or hook up with like the projector and everything pretty much every week. So I don't think that's gonna be an issue of getting that hooked up.
Do we know how audio works? Do they have a lapel mic, all that?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll have to double check. I'll forward you the email that I have and everything from her to go over what the
Okay, that'd
visuals
be
were.
great.
I pretty much just took what was in that leadership toolbox and sent that to her, saying like,
Okay.
this is what we.
Okay. So every week of Bold, my plan is to be there an hour early because people come early and we want to be set up before they're there. For step one, I usually like a little bit of cushion. And I also, that's mainly because people run on real estate time. You lovely leaders, do you run on real estate time? Or if we say, let's meet at 8, will you be there at 8?
Be there
In the-
at 7:30.
I was gonna say, in the past, we've been there early.
Okay, so if you're already planning to be there early, then normally what I like to do is be there at 7:45 for step one. Is that ugly or can we live with that?
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool. I would much rather
I'm
us.
gonna say that because I'm not gonna be there, so.
Yeah.
I'm waiting
Oh.
for everybody.
All right. Well, someone can be there at that time, even if it's not all of you, right? Okay, cool. So let's plan on that as far as logistics. That way, if anything isn't working perfectly, we can figure it out. There's no stress. And by the time that first agent walks into the room, it's just time to connect. So that's simple. Let's just do that. And send me that email. That way, if there's anything I catch like right away, like, ooh, that might be a challenge, I'll let you know. I know it's not the largest group, and yet that mic is going to be helpful because you guys are my third Bold of the week, and my Bold before you has 204 people taking it. So, you know, my poor little voice is going to need that mic, even though it's a smaller room.
Is that Minneapolis?
Yes, yeah, they have 204 people registered for full Bold. They also
Right.
have 11 market centers participating to put things in perspective. So, and it'll be the biggest Bold they've ever had. So it's pretty cool. So here we want people there. We want the best show rate we can possibly get, especially in our situation. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is the day before Bold, don't do it the morning of, that's too late. The day before Bold, so on Wednesday, everyone who is registered, whether it's first or full, it doesn't really matter to me. They're going to get a call from somebody, and it doesn't really, you guys can split it up. You guys can chain Katie to a desk and make her do it all day, whatever it takes. Just kidding, Katie. You guys figure out how you want to do it. Everybody needs to get a call, not a text message, not an email, not a Facebook post. Now you can do all those things in addition if you would like to. Just like with our agents, the call is what's going to do it. And that conversation is going to sound something like this. And remember, I'll send this out in a recording, right? Hey, it's Katie from the Market Center, and I'm just calling to remind you, step one to Bold is tomorrow. We have saved you a seat. We have bought you a lunch. The location is XYZ. It starts at 9. You should be there early to get a great seat, and we can't wait to see you there. And get off the phone. Here's what I don't want the call to sound like. Hey, tomorrow is first step to Bold. Are you still able to make it? I'm literally tangibly want you to make them feel guilty for not coming. So we have saved them a seat, we have made the space, we have purchased the food, and we can't wait to see you there. Now, if somebody's not going to come, they will cut you off before you get off the phone. And you'll know. And then the great news is then you can work with them. Don't take it. You know, hey, well, gosh, it's really important. Should be there. What's changed? You know, maybe they're afraid. Maybe they're going to be late. Tell them to show up late. Maybe they have to leave early. Tell them to leave early. Like, you can work with people. You're just going to get a lot more objections if we ask if they're still available. Okay. So everyone's going to get a call. It's going to be a very assumptive reminder. Make sure they're reminded of the location and the time and all of that fun stuff. If you guys do that one little piece, I can assure you your show rate will be so much better than if you don't. Should you still send a text out or put it on social media? Yeah. And make sure the message is, hey, even if you're not registered, just showed up. We don't care. We can register people on the spot. There's always a couple of people that show up that just think about registering. Like it's not a big deal. Those calls are going to be imperative to having a great show rate. So that's one thing, right? This part's optional and it will help, and it just depends on who you have in your back pocket or what you have lying around. If you do some sort of giveaway for attending step one, the people who might have skipped it will show up, because if there's one thing all real estate professionals agree on, they love free things. So it's probably got to be more than a $25 gift card, and it also doesn't need to be a car. So if you guys had anything in your back pocket or a vendor that is extra generous and would come up with something, if you had some sort of giveaway for attending step one, what I can assure you is that that would affect your show rate too. So any question about that or any question about the calls?
Nope, that makes sense.
Okay. Do we
And I-
feel like we have the bandwidth to make those calls the day before?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we'll split it up amongst ourselves, so.
Yeah, and anybody that doesn't answer, I would honestly just basically leave it as a
Right.
voicemail, leave the same
Right.
thing, right? If you know somebody doesn't check their voicemail, maybe text them. And yet I really want to, it's a lot easier for people to say no over a text. I just think voice is harder to say no to. What other questions do you guys have so that we can have like the best week ever over the next 7 days and roll in at our goal and just enjoy an amazing first step?
I don't have any questions, but what I'd like to do is, if we can, Hudson, I'd like to get off with you and get the roster. So I've got a 10 o'clock. I'd like to get the roster and look at it right away. And,
That sounds
go.
fantastic. Guys, here's what I'm going to ask for accountability, not because I'm a pain in the butt, because if you want me to give it to your agents, I get to give it to you as well. Please follow up with me later today. Let me know how your meeting went with the 2 full bolds, and just give me confirmation that you did develop that hit list so you can start working it. And then I know I say it every week and I mean it more than ever right now. Do not wait to reach out to me if something comes up, okay? This was our last planned Zoom. It doesn't mean that I cannot help you in any way that you need, whether that's a conversation, answering a question, role play, okay? You guys good?
We're good.
All right, I will send out the recording so you can share this with Dawn. Let her know to reach out if she has any questions.
Can you send the script too for their phone calls?
Yeah, I'll type something out. It's super simple. I will do it though.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Hudson.
Bye.
Okay, cool. See ya.